Hello, everybody. My name is Skylar Banich. I'm Influicity's head of content, and welcome to this webinar presentation. We're very excited to share some TikTok strategy with you guys today. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, just pop them into the chat box or into the Q&A tab, and I'll get to them at the end. If you're a returning fan of our content, thank you so much for coming back. We really appreciate you. If you're new here, Influicity works with brands and agencies across many aspects of digital marketing, from influencer campaigns to custom podcasts and beyond. We love sharing our research and content with you for free. All we ask is that you share it with your colleagues or tell a friend about it if you like us. It means the world to us. Okay, let's get going on how to promote your podcast using TikTok. So we're going to start with a crash course on what TikTok actually is. In the most basic sense, TikTok is a video sharing app in a similar vein to YouTube or Instagram, where users create short form video clips, about a minute or less, and enhance them with tool sets that include filters, emojis, stickers, sound effects, and other creative elements. The app is specifically designed to be used on your phone, which makes it really popular with Gen Z and younger millennials who grew up with smartphone technology. It's mostly associated with music and dance videos, but the app contains everything from short cooking tutorials to political videos and more. TikTok has been operating since late 2017, and it is now the fastest growing social media platform in the world. It has over 1 billion active users who use the app for an average of 52 minutes per day. Can you think of anything else that you do for an hour per day that isn't work? That's crazy. It also exerts remarkable influence over the music industry. Old Town Road became one of the most downloaded songs of all time after becoming a TikTok sound. And many trending sounds can be found at the top of the charts on Spotify at the same time. As we go along, we're going to get a little bit deeper into how TikTok works from a marketing perspective and how brands can leverage this lucrative app to promote their podcasts. TikTok is the Wild West for marketers at the moment. And it's mostly because the app is so unique amongst its social media peers. TikTok doesn't embody any radically new ideas per se, but they do represent a combination of successful features from other platforms that aren't typically seen together. The never-ending feed and video formatting is reminiscent of Instagram and YouTube, but the algorithm echoes services like Spotify and Netflix, which makes it kind of very unique amongst its peers. TikTok's algorithm is a black box, so we don't actually know all of the ins and outs of how it works, but we can infer a few things based on what we can observe. As far as we can tell, the algorithm is based on one thing and one thing only: interest. It's entirely user-driven, gathering data about the videos that you interact with to bring you more similar content, regardless of what account it comes from or how consistently the user posts. While most social media platforms employ algorithms that are based on the poster's activity, for example, Instagram's algorithm favors accounts that are popular and consistent, such as celebrity accounts. TikTok's algorithm is specifically built to favor the viewer's activity. When you post a TikTok, the algorithm shows it to a handful of users that have interacted with similar content before. So say you post a cooking tutorial, it's going to show that video to other users who have viewed cooking tutorials in the past. Based on how these users interact with your content, the algorithm will show it to progressively more users until it ideally goes viral. So it kind of uses this cascading style as viewers interact with content. This presents somewhat of a hurdle for influencers and marketers because many established personalities with audiences on other platforms have found that only some of their content is successful on TikTok, while other content that would perform on something like Instagram doesn't perform at all. It gets maybe even tens of views. It just sort of tanks. The platform places more control in the hands of viewers than they do in the hands of posters. And that makes the algorithm a lot more difficult to leverage to your advantage. Don't worry, though, there are plenty of ways to make TikTok work for marketing a podcast, and we're going to get into some of them today. The first hurdle that podcasts face in terms of TikTok is that it's a fundamentally visual platform. TikTok content is exclusively video-based, and many creators struggle with converting audio-based content into visual content for the purpose of promoting it. One of the main strategies that has emerged is creating audiograms. These are animated waveforms of an audio clip that are usually superimposed on a background. And I'm going to show you a really good example. This was published by the McElroy brothers for their comedy podcast, My Brother, and Me. And just as an aside, the McElroy brothers are very, very good at promoting their podcasts via a lot of social media platforms. If you take a look at their content, they have a lot of interesting things that they do with it to promote it. Now, that particular video was posted on Instagram, but the method still stands for TikTok. It's a really simple, effective way to share clips of your podcast in a format that's still visual enough to be appealing on a video-based platform, and that's what makes them so popular. Yet another strategy is making a point of creating behind-the-scenes content as you record your podcast. Whether you record you and your guest getting ready for recording or grabbing a coffee afterward, this content can be really valuable for promoting your podcast beyond the audio format. You're not just a voice in the darkness anymore. You're a person, and that personal connection is huge when it comes to podcast promotion on TikTok. So a lot of the kind of content that you're going to see from podcasters on TikTok, and some of this can be used on Instagram and other places as well, creating behind the scenes videos when you're recording, making little videos with your guests. So if you just have them, if you ask them one question, if you're interviewing them and kind of have that as a clip, adding day in the life content about your routines, that tends to be very popular. Things like office tours and recording setups, it's really good for getting kind of the people that are more interested in podcasting as a business. And then introductions to your behind the scenes team tends to do very well as well. The second problem that a lot of podcasts and brands run into when they're trying to make inroads into TikTok marketing is that they fail to match the platform's visual language. As it's grown in popularity, TikTok content has become visually and culturally established as a unique entity. Even if you remove the branding, you can tell that a video clip came from TikTok by the formatting and visual cues that are native to the platform. Without embracing this unique flavor, brands often fall short of being successful on TikTok. Promotional content comes off as stiff and disingenuous, and a TikTok audience simply won't respond to it, and it will be completely kneecapped by the algorithm. From watching TikTok content, a few main trends become really clear as part of the app's visual language. The framing and filming techniques are often very similar between creators. 99% of TikTok content is filmed on smartphones and built for the very close framing that those types of cameras require. Secondly, the use of text effects to enhance or punctuate spoken or silent content is very, very common, especially amongst videos that are made for promotional purposes. Yet another main component is movement. You're never going to see a TikTok video where the subject is sitting still, whether they're making hand gestures, they're dancing, or they're just sort of moving around to punctuate their content. Everyone's going to be moving. It's about keeping visual interest. And of course, the integration of popular sounds. And we're going to talk about sounds a little bit later because they're very important to TikTok. Let's take a look at what this might look like. This video comes from a very prominent TikTok creator who specializes in tips for small businesses. So I'm going to rewind her and we'll watch it again. Okay, so as you can see, she has mastered the TikTok visual language. She's closely framed. She's not using any fancy recording. She's moving the whole time. You can see she's gesturing her hands to punctuate the text that's coming up, but the text does the talking for her. She's not actually speaking here. And that's very, very common because a lot of people use TikTok with the sound off. So it almost is a short form subtitle that's been built. And that's very common for business TikTok. And then she's using a sound. I believe that sound is actually a meme or a kind of a joke sound, but it works really well for her content and she's integrated it fully. So that's a really good example of what we mean when we say matching the TikTok visual language. These autoplays. Okay, so moving back into TikTok strategy, another cultural touch point that you can leverage to promote your podcast or pretty much anything else really effectively is the hashtag challenge. These are a huge component of the wider TikTok culture, and they can be really effective for promotion purposes. All you have to do is create a piece of content like a transformation or a small feat like a bottle flip and encourage viewers to respond to it with content of their own using your branded hashtag. In the business, we call this user-generated content. And it's one of the best ways to go viral, especially on TikTok. And a really good example of kind of the base content is something like this. So this video, I believe this is actually UGC, but it came from the Chipotle lid flip challenge. So this one's a couple of years old, but basically they have this little technique to put the lids on their burrito bowls. And this went super viral. It drove a whole bunch of app downloads and purchases for Chipotle. And it was something as simple as this. So you get the idea. He's trying to flip the lid and put it on the bowl. And some podcasts can take it one step further and create branded AR effects, so alternate reality effects. I'm sorry, not alternate reality, augmented reality. Stickers or sounds on TikTok itself that users can include in their content. This achieves two things. It increases your brand recognition and recall, and it ties all of the resulting user-generated content together so that it's visually recognizable as part of a trend. This makes a campaign a lot more likely to go viral because everyone wants a piece of the action, and you can see really quickly that it's part of a trend. One of the best examples of this strategy that we've seen a lot more recently than the lid flip challenge is a challenge that EA Games recently published for The Sims 4. They created an AR Sims plumb bob, that's what they call the little diamond over a Sim's head, filter that users could use to create videos showing their different Sim outfits. All of the videos used the same track, which is hashtag #PlayWithLife by Rainy Shockme. And it used the same hashtag, so hashtag #PlayWithLife. Here's an example of the resulting UGC. And that's it. This challenge was so fun and it got a lot of attention because it's so simple and easy for people to get into. You can film this in your bedroom. All you need is the clothes that you already have. And then you're using this filter to kind of get in on the action. And it leverages the tool set that TikTok makes available for brands, which is such a vital strategy when you're looking at promoting a podcast via TikTok. Following from that point, it's so important for anyone looking to use TikTok for marketing to make use of the tools that the app provides. I know it sounds super scary. It's got a lot of tools to it, but they're all really user-friendly. And the tool set is what creates the unique culture of TikTok. And if you're just publishing videos without using any of the native tools to edit them, it's a huge mistake from a content creation standpoint. It's just not going to resonate. One of the main tools that you can't ignore while creating TikTok content is the sounds. Sounds are tracks that anyone can use in their content. They can be music or snippets of other audio, depending on who's publishing them. A major part of participating in TikTok is putting your own spin on the tracks that are currently trending. After all, music is in TikTok's DNA, and you ignore that component of its cultural language at your own risk. Try coordinating your hack videos to a relevant track, using the music as a background for a day in the life video, or even creating your own sounds from podcast clips for other users to lip sync or create new content with. I've seen a couple of podcasts do that and it's amazing, especially if you've got a good joke or something like that, something that comes off really funny. A lot of users have found that lip syncing becomes a big part of their podcast promotion. TikTok Pro accounts, which we highly recommend for anyone looking to use the platform for marketing, can even access a list of the most popular sounds that their followers are listening to at any given time, which, if you think about it, that's a treasure trove of information. You know already what kind of audio content is resonating with the people that are interacting with your content, and that's massive. Another tool that I'm going to touch on briefly is the transitions tool. This is the tool that most TikTok creators use to create what's called a transformation video, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And these are an evergreen trend on the platform. They've been used by brands over and over again as challenges, typically, to create viral videos, and they just kind of tend to be really good with beauty creators or cosplay creators. They're very popular. It might look like a feat of video editing, but the app makes it really easy to create this kind of content and make it look really seamless. So we're going to see what that looks like. And there it is. It's just like that. So you just end up with a switch between two video clips, and it looks really beautiful and seamless. TikTok ads are yet another tool that we can't gloss over while we're talking about using the platform specifically for marketing. They aren't the only method of TikTok marketing, and they're better used in conjunction with more organic methods in this particular instance. But they can help drive users towards a landing page, which is really big, or you can promote the hashtag challenges that you are currently running. TikTok's demographic targeting is actually really precise, so it even works for shows that have really narrow ICPs, which is nice. In the end, being successful on TikTok comes down to changing the way that you think about marketing. The app is very unique amongst its peers and requires special attention, but if you embrace its creative spirit and fun visual language, you can create long-lasting campaigns that will grow your podcast's audience faster than anything else. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming to